Hey everybody, I'm Marlon with Chronic Pain Warriors United. Hope y'all are all doing well. I haven't filmed much the last couple of weeks because I've had some big ups and downs in my personal life. Changes with medications, dealing with different doctors, and some stuff going on with my own life and private life that's political stuff in the state I live in, Alabama, decisions I have to make, etc. But anyways, I am feeling better. I appreciate all your comments, and we're going to get back into the groove of things. There'll be 2 to 3 long form videos a week, and we're going to start doing more shorts as well. Speaking of which, jumping right in, Saturday, March 1st, I released a short called Living with Chronic Pain is Expensive. And I got that from a Pain News Network article that was titled Chronic Pain is Chronically Expensive, which it is. And I was reading some of this and I was just like, this just highlights so many different parts of failure of the pain management system in general, and then highlights an issue that we deal with that a lot of people don't even think about. The financial outlay, when it's really hard for a lot of us to maintain solid jobs and work in the first place. It's almost sickly ironic how expensive it can be to live and manage chronic pain. And then on the flip of that, it's really hard for those of us suffering from high impact chronic pain to work a normal 40-hour job, 40-hour-a-week job. So anyways, I'm going to jump right in. I'm going to read a little bit of what she wrote and then go through it. My fiance and I both have chronic pain, which means we spend a lot of money trying to manage it. Later today, he will drive an hour and a half each way to see his pain doctor so that they can drug test him in person. 2 things there. The drug testing of the pain management system is wrong. It's invasive. It treats us like we're suspect and criminals right off the bat, and it's just wrong. There's no cause for it. And then the hour and a half each way. That happens so often for the exact reason she's about to say. Excuse me. And when he gets his pain medication, sorry, I skipped a part. The doctor doesn't take my fiance's insurance though, so he will have to pay for the appointment the same way he pays for every monthly appointment with his doctor, $160 cash payment. He's the only doctor in the region who will take new pain patients, so he's the doctor my fiance goes to despite the cash payments and long drive. And that right there, like, finding a doctor who will take new patients and, will they accept your insurance, or will they see you if you don't have insurance? It's just so hard to actually find somebody and then jump through all the hoops to manage your pain effectively. When he gets his medication refilled in a few days, that will also be paid for with cash at the pharmacy because his insurance won't cover prescriptions from doctors who don't take the insurance. Insurance shittery going on there, but that's really common. Insurance companies like, the doctor's not under our umbrella, we're not going to cover his scripts. Too bad. So wrong. But that's normal bullshittery from insurance companies. And then she talks about they also spend quite a bit of money on over-the-counter pain relievers and $100 a month spent on kratom powder because their monthly pain management prescriptions are not enough to cover their pain on a daily basis throughout the month. And that gets into another issue. Most people who have high-impact chronic pain are having their pain massively undertreated. The CDC has acknowledged that it's like 50 to 60%, I think, and self-reporting. And then a Pain News Network survey that I read not long ago, I think was even higher than that. But I don't know anybody who's happy with the level of their pain management. They're just taking it in the teeth because we don't have any power to do anything else. And also, by the way, once we get in front of these doctors, it's not fun. There's a study I'm going to talk about that showed that when you're with your pain doctor, your heart rate and blood pressure can go up anywhere between 15 and 30%. And it's so common, there's actually a medical term for it. I don't remember what it is, but there is. And I mean, I know for a fact because my pain doctor does the, blood pressure and heart rate before I go in to see him. And it's always elevated, as is everybody else who goes in to see him. And that's because he can drastically change our lives like that with a word. I mean, a word from the doctor and your medications go away and your quality of life is burnt to shit right then and there. No person should have that power over another person. No human being should be forced to stand in front of another human being and plead their case and beg for pain management and pain relief. And no human being should have the power to tell another one, you don't deserve to have your pain relieved. You have to live in pain. And that is what's happening right now, ladies and gentlemen. And it is morally disgusting. And then on top of that, he's paying out of pocket for his medications. So for me personally, I pay $200 a month for my doctor, $110 to $150 a month for my medications, depending on where I get them filled. But there's always shortages. And that's because the DEA has ordered the pharmaceutical industry to cut opiate pain medication production over and over again since 2016. And then because of seizures I've had in the last few months, I have to take an Uber about 45 minutes each way. So all of that gets to be very expensive. And then, like I said at the very beginning, it's like sickly ironic because we have a hard time, a lot of times, holding down steady jobs in the first place. And we get no help with any of this from our state or federal leaders. They're making it worse by all the regulations and everything they're putting on the pain management system. So they say, that being ignored is the worst form of contempt, just not even being acknowledged. And that's what's really happening to us in a lot of ways from our leaders. The media and our political leaders are just ignoring us completely. And when they do pay attention to any of the issues that affect us, their actions affect us negatively every single time. And this is why we've created Chronic Pain Warriors United. We have got to start drawing voices in together to amplify ourselves and to make it so that we can't be ignored as individuals shouting in the wilderness. A lot of the chronic pain advocacy groups out there are not willing to take stands against the DEA, against the federal government, even against doctors for what they're doing, even though it is obviously morally repugnant. They will not take that stand because eventually you're going to have to argue on behalf of opiates and their benefit to people. And they're not willing to make that argument, whereas I am. So that's a big reason, and probably the main reason why we have been ignored and just no one is speaking out for us, because eventually it leads to political confrontation that must be had if you start down that road. But I'm begging for that confrontation. We have to draw enough people in to get that confrontation. But when it comes, we have those scientific and morally correct arguments on our side. What they're doing right now with pain management is unscientific and it's morally reprehensible. So I just thought, in conclusion, I just thought this article highlighted so many different areas of failure of the pain management system, on top of just highlighting an overall issue that isn't talked about: the burdensome cost of just trying to treat our pain, and the way that insurance companies, doctors, and pharmaceutical blah, 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 all the way through make it expensive and prohibitive. And a lot of insurance, Medicare and Medicaid, are just not covering a lot of this stuff for many different stated reasons. So all of this has to change, and that's why we're here. So, like I say at the end of every video, your stories, like you, are special and unique. So please let us know how these issues affect you in the comments. We will use your stories. People will see them, and those stories are relatable. They're happening to a human being. And those are the types of issues and stories we're going to push in our fight for pain management reform. They are powerful and effective. Your testimonies are really important, so please leave your comments. Also, please hit the like and subscribe button. That like button seems to be about the only way to make sure that the algorithm actually pushes the video out somewhat. So I'd really appreciate the help with that. I'm Marlon with Chronic Pain Warriors United. We'll be back real soon. Y'all stay well. Cheers and be blessed.